So, I have always, not always, because there was a time when I was like, fuck that. If you say some shit that's wrong, or if it's hurting our people, if it violates our people, if it's detrimental to our people, I'm going to call you out, this and that. But as of late, I made a decision that I don't want to argue with black people because we don't even have the time or the energy to fight against each other because we fighting against some shit that's real. And if you don't know, cool. Everybody think, we got Donald J. Trump derangement syndrome. That's what it is. Trump is doing absolutely nothing to black people. There's no issue. There's nothing going on. Everybody's fine. And we just bugging out. So I already know that some of y'all going to say that. But the reality is I don't want to fight with black people. But I have to correct black people. And I have to not call you out, but I have to call you in. So last week I heard Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. Smith was on his platform and he made this statement first.
My only issue with Jimmy Kimmel and this whole brouhaha he finds himself inflamed with is not that, oh my God, you can't say a joke. I am incredibly alarmed by what appears to be our First Amendment rights being attacked. This is what I do for a living. I don't like that. But he's coming. And part of the reason why is to get back at everybody who tried to take him down. They didn't try to keep him out of the White House and that was it. They tried to throw him in prison. The man is coming. And you have to adjust accordingly. Nexstar has to adjust. All these broadcast corporations have to adjust. Madison Avenue has to adjust. Wall Street has to adjust. Corporate America has to adjust. China's had to adjust. Mexico has had to adjust. France, England, Germany, everybody has to make an adjustment.
Now, shout out to my brother Van Lathan, who vehemently disagreed with this. And everything he said to me was completely on point. Why would we adjust to something that violates us? Why would we negotiate with terrorists? Why would we, who are strong black, who are strong men with intelligence, with strength, who don't have fear, why would we adjust to some shit that goes against our human being, the rights as a human being, that goes against our rights according to the Constitution? Why would we make that adjustment? How can we win when we adjust to authoritarianism and fascism? How do we win with that? America has a deal with, they have a policy where they do not negotiate with terrorists, because once you negotiate with a terrorist, then you've lost all power. So why should we adjust? If adjusting means to be silenced, not speak truth to power, a very smart person once told me, speak the truth even if your lip quivers. He said, if you look the devil in the eye, he will flee. And when you're a man of strength and a man of faith, you don't walk in a place with fear. You don't adjust to somebody treating you wrong. There's no adjustment. That's what they told the slaves. You listen, master, don't be too loud because master gonna whip you now. Listen now. Don't. He told Nat Turner, listen now. Don't go up there with that mess because master gonna whoop you. He ain't gonna feed you. You know what? But some of us are willing to take the whooping. Some of us understand that we would rather speak the truth and stand on our square and move fearlessly than be in bondage, to be oppressed, to not speak truth to power. So I was 100% with Van when he spoke that out. He said the truth. The leaders that we follow, they didn't just adjust to bullshit. They didn't just allow a government that was oppressing them to tell them, well, just try to figure a way to navigate through it. You know, this is the law. No, they did everything they could to push and change the law and get rights for our people. So this adjustment that you call sounds like capitulation to me. It sounds like being quiet. It sounds like being silenced. And I'm not from the breed or the pedigree that will be silenced in the face of oppression. We just don't do that. That's not how we built. So maybe me and you is different. And you know, maybe that's how you got to where you got. And I'm not here to say anything wrong. You know, you figured out how to adjust, quote unquote, in corporate America to be able to figure out how not to say what needs to be said here and too much, how to make sure you don't go too far, you know, but a lot of us don't feel like that. Some of us are going to speak the truth and they don't care whether you like it or not. And whatever the consequences are for that said truth, we going to deal with it. So that was the first part of that. But then the problem that I didn't even speak on that. You know, I just let Van said what he said. But then you posted this one yesterday.
I'm starting to notice that let's make noise. If you're the administration, ever since the Epstein file became a big deal, let's make noise about every damn thing. Is it an evasive tactic? Is it a distractionary measure? I don't know. I don't like talking about it. I ain't about to talk about it. But I don't appreciate reading this story about how the Super Bowl may basically be infiltrated. How the hell are we supposed to, how is America supposed to enjoy the Super Bowl? That's the number one event in this country. How the hell is America supposed to enjoy the Super Bowl? And we got reports that's going down the pike that's not going to dissipate, by the way. It's only going to build momentum. And we're going to sit over here over the next few months, the NFL no doubt doing the same, worried that the greatest event in American sports right now is threatening to be contaminated by the Department of Homeland Security, who's going to deploy ICE agents. So anybody that is an American, doesn't look like one, may not have a name that sounds like one, because it's all going to be subjective according to ICE agents, right? You're going to go to the Super Bowl in the state of California, no less, a sanctuary state. And you're going to plan on deploying ICE agents to the Super Bowl to essentially arrest migrants for the purposes of deportation on Super Bowl Sunday, if not Super Bowl week. This is low. This is freaking low. It's un-American. I'll say it. It's un-American. There's a time and a place for everything. When Donald Trump is right, I'll say so. When Donald Trump is excoriated for no good reason, I'll say so. But when he's wrong, I'm going to say that too.
Now, Stephen, you want us to adjust, right? You want us to be quiet. You want us to understand he's coming, but you felt the need that you want to use your voice to speak about the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny, right? Any other time you was okay with them getting the immigrants out. You said that Joe Biden let the immigrants in and you was okay with them getting. You didn't give a fuck about how many immigrants when they was coming into black communities. You didn't say nothing about when they went into Chicago and they went into them buildings and they arrested black people. You didn't say nothing when they was just kidnapping black people and disappearing black people and brown people and other communities where black people inhabit every day. You didn't say nothing about 300,000 black women losing their jobs. You was okay. You was willing to adjust so that shit can happen. Just be quiet and try to figure out adjust because he coming. But you want to utilize your voice to speak about the Super Bowl? That's where you draw the line. You draw the line at the Super Bowl, not black people and poor black people in communities that you come from. You didn't see to use your voice for that, but you draw the line and they're going to send the ICE to the Super Bowl. Oh no. Right? Because at this point, it inconveniences you. Right? See, if you was just, when you was just a sports commentator, then I could say that, okay, he got to speak about it because he's just a sports commentator. But now you moved into the political realm. You moved into the realm where you act like you speak for black people. When you act like you want to speak about politics and leadership. And when you speak from that lens, and that's what you said, that's where you draw the line at, Is the ICE coming to Super Bowl, but not coming to communities where black and brown people are inhabited? Not when they arrest Ross Baraka for nothing? You don't utilize your voice for that, but you utilize your voice because they send the ICE to the Super Bowl. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. And this is why I'm saying everything ain't for everybody. But if you're going to talk about politics and you're going to act like you know what you're talking about and you're speaking from a realm of just being truth to facts and speaking truth to power and you want to, then this is the dialogue that we're going to have, King. If you're going to talk about something that's affecting our communities, your communities as black men more than any other community, don't talk about it when it comes to no fucking Super Bowl. Because the people that's going to lose their jobs, that's losing their pensions, that's losing their schools, kids that can't get in college because they taking away scholarships, right? People that lost their jobs that can't pay their bills, they can't go to no fucking Super Bowl. They don't give a fuck about the people in the Super Bowl. Most of the people in the Super Bowl going to be all right. That's why they don't give a fuck about what's going on Trump. So now that you inconvenience at the Super Bowl, ICE is an issue. Now you need to speak up, but you ain't speaking up about nothing for the millions of people in this world that are being targeted every day, that look just like you, that won't get opportunities that you got because they've eliminated programs to even give them the opportunity. They won't go to schools, they won't get the education, who families won't even be able to put them through college because their mothers and fathers lost their federal jobs. You don't see to utilize your voice for that, but you draw the line at the Super Bowl. A few minutes ago, we needed to adjust and pretty much capitulate because you know Trump is coming. But you don't want him to come to the fucking Super Bowl because that's where you draw the line. ICE could go everywhere else. You okay with getting the immigrants out of here. But you just don't want to get the immigrants out at the Super Bowl. Come on, bro. Make it make sense. Don't come in here playing around because it's people that's losing their lives. It's people that's on this front line really doing this work, King. And we targets. They putting us on lists and they putting our names on shit and we really targets. The people that you arguing back and forth so you can get some views on your site, they on this front line, bro. Really taking a hit and trying to fight for the betterment of our people. So it's cool when you want to talk about sports. It's cool for you to have your opinion because that's your First Amendment right. But just be careful because the shit that you saying is detrimental and it don't even make sense. And you not even reading the room. You so off from the reality that black people are dealing with in this world right now because you are such a different tax bracket that you can't speak for us, King. You can't. The shit that you saying don't even make, you talking about a Super Bowl. You talking about a Super Bowl? Niggas is trying to get a bowl of soup and you talking about a Super Bowl. A fucking bowl of soup is too expensive and you talking about a Super Bowl. Come on, bro. Stay in your lane. It's cool. Go back over there. You know, sometimes I like your takes on sports. You know, I'm proud of you. You're a black man who evolved. But leave this shit alone because it's too dangerous. It's too much at stake right now. And you have too much of a platform and a big voice to be saying shit that don't make no sense.
Poop-dee, scoop-dee, scoop-dee-whoop. Whoopie-dee, scoop-whoop.